start by doing a We're going to start by doing a fly-through, and we are recording this. We'll edit it just so there's people who couldn't make it, they can kind of hear what it's all about. This one is a conceptual fly-through, though. So you'll see some things that aren't going to be in school, and some changes were made. You'll see a slide at one point in the middle of the school. That's not going to be there. There's a lot of liability slides. So I know, Sarah, I see your pouty face. So there are some things that we couldn't keep in there, but they were cool designs. And then just a little things you'll see differently feel for what the schools are doing. So, oh, sorry. Yes, I'm Tucker Millard. I'm one of the co-principals. That'll be at Elwell and is currently at Lester.
And I'm Shannon Gowan, other co-principal that will also be. Welcome.
So I'll run through this and kind of narrate go. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I can run through it again after we're done. So this is the preschool playground area. So this will be on the west side of the building, and on the left would be the northwest corner. So this will be the early childhood entrance, and that entrance now has shifted a little bit to the other side, but it has this concept. You see, we have everything fenced in for kids. You see this little white building there in front there? That's a greenhouse that we'll have everything ready for. It might not be there right away. You see, we have a nice parking lot. If you parked in this parking lot just now, you realize that we need a better parking lot. There will be a nice sidewalk here that goes up to the front. On the right, it doesn't show us, but that's where the playground will be. Lexi, I know you really want to know where that is. So I don't have pictures of that right now. You can see we have some indoor grass areas. To the left is an outdoor amphitheater that we could do a whole class. There's an outdoor eating area. We're heading to the front doors right now. That'll be the front office. As you see, there's a vestibule to come into, and then there's another set of doors. And then that's where you get to the office, last in, and then another set of doors. So we need to let you in. You see it's raised to the stage. That's now level with the floor. You'll see the learning stairs on the left and the stairs to get up to the second floor. Back to the back right there is the gym and the cafeteria. That's why all the tables there, that would be our cafeteria area. On the left and on the bottom, that's the community room. At the top of the learning stairs is we're kind of a learning lab. But we also thought we could use those stairs for concerts and things like that. Like a cry room at the top where you could watch it if you had a little child that might be a little bit noisy. Where the slide is, that's not going to be there, but there will be we're calling a cell, which is the area where we can do reading. We have outdoor patios off every learning suite, so you can go outside. Little flex rooms like this, so we could do independent work with kids. This room straight ahead, that's the STEM room. So a lot of science, technology, engineering, math in that area. Straight ahead there is a 5th grade. To the right, this shows the art room, but it'll actually be our special education area. We'll kind of switch that on the top and bottom floor. You'll see the stairs to the, I think if we go here, you see the stairs straight ahead there. That's how you get down to the first floor. That goes into our library, for lack of a better word, so like our learning commons area. Those stairs, keep that next. There'll be kind of an open area in the middle where we have different areas to read. You can see we have windows to the left into the gym, so you'll be able to see into the gym from the library area. There's a huge skylight above, kind of right. I just installed that this week, so it looks pretty cool when you go inside. This bottom area here to the left would actually be our art room now. This is a learning suite. We'll have a wall across this front now for noise separation. So the kids' cubbies will be in the front area. This is the big learning area, learning suite. And right now we have a wall where the sink is. That's not shown in this drawing, but we put a wall there to separate this learning space. So I know people have heard probably that it's a open concept. It's not really, it's a flexible concept. There are some big learning areas and some small learning areas. And to the back of each learning suite, there's a small group area. You can pull out a group of like 10 kids. So you can see how much bigger this front area is, and our bathrooms are right out of the learning suites. To the left, there's a storage, and then there's, I don't think it shows in this, but there's a teacher collaboration area, which is where the teacher desk will be. So all the area that's open that you're seeing is all for students. So the teachers won't have that area with their desks. We'll have a little thing to teach off of, but they won't have that big area. This is our flexible room. And then you'll go, I think this is kind of where we'll stop. That kind of shows what that learning will look like. And then the back there to the left is just a small, same small learning area. You can just see it. So we have some maps that kind of show everything we talked about.
So what I'm handing out is going to show you the first floor and the second floor on the back. More of the layout. So you can get a little bit closer look. You can see how many changes since the slide group. Yeah. And then the one that you forgot was the close-up with the raise. It is big. The whole front back. Then you have a learning suite here again also. So we're going to go ahead and walk you through the first floor and the second floor, and I'll kind of hold this and we can walk you through. So kind of put a switch in there.
So if you start on the first floor, we'll start on the first. Okay.
The viewer.
Oh,
The
sure.
viewer.
I'm sure I know where I'm at.
Okay.
So if you're holding it, looking at it, on the right side here, this is the front entrance that we showed you when you came up to it. This right here, office area. If you came straight through, you can see that you're walking into the cafeteria and the music room is right there. So the music room, the floor will be level with cafeteria because otherwise we have to take a big out for a ramp. So you want to do that. This gives us more floor space. And we could either have a concert where the kids are sitting up on the learning stairs, or the parents are sitting on the learning stairs and the kids are down. You could go either way. So that way it gives us some flexibility what we do there. There's some actually even booth seating here on this top part. And Lexi, you see that part where the booth seating is? That's where the beams are. But the beam might be covered. I'm not 100% sure, but their names are on it where it's at. The kitchen is here in the back. This big white block, that's the gym. At the top, you can see the learning stairs. At the top of the learning stairs, that's the learning labs. Or actually, sorry, we're on the first floor, sorry. So that's a bathroom right there. We come through, this is our library, learning center. We're looking for a better name for that, but just so people know what it is, that's what we're calling it right now. And then you can see there's learning suites. So this one here would be second grade, first grade, kindergarten, preschool. And then the art room is right here at the top of the library. And that's kind of the things for this floor. You flip it over to the second floor, you'll notice that on the bottom and top, it kind of mirrors, it looks pretty much exactly the same, except for it goes third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. Fifth grade has a little bit different layout. So paging area is just a little bit different than the other ones, okay? But we thought fifth grade needs to happen just a little bit different to make it so special for being there for a couple of years. We can look at what's in these learning suites because that's kind of an important spot. You can see the learning lab now at the top of the stairs. And the special education area is right up here. There is actually a 3-room special education. So it has the ability to have a swing and it has a light sensory. So it can turn to blue, red, green, whatever helps calm a student or works best for a student. So we can do those kind of different items. STEM room is at the top. The STEM room has a balcony out of it that also connects with fifth grade and fourth grade. If you're in fourth grade, you actually have a balcony that goes next between third grade and fourth grade. Because you're in the middle, you get to share 2 balconies. So there's kind of some neat things about each one. That's kind of the general layout. You can these maps and kind of go through them a little bit more. If you look at your little map, this is the general layout of the learning suite. You can see when you walk in, this is actually third grade is what we're showing you. And he's laughing so good. You come in, you have the cubbies right here. And that'll be for all kids that come in for this main door with the cubbies. And this first area is like a hard surface floor. So that way, if you have webby boots or anything when you're coming in and you walk first, you're not ruining anything. And that's all the area that goes outside. So wherever it comes outside by the cubbies, that's where the hard floor is. But then the sink's right there. So if you're doing science experiments, that's a good place to do them because you can get static or dirty, but it doesn't really. The other three areas, which is the other side of the sinks there, two down here, all have carpet. This one here is what's called a mantle wall. And the mantle wall can open up. It's like kind of like an accordion wall that's glass. So you can always see it, but then you can open it up and you have that access to the living areas. This area back here is for like about 10 kids. So if you had a group going on and you needed a spot for some enrichment, because you have some kids that would want to above and beyond, you could do that back there. Or if you had to pull out some kids for English language services or something like that, you could pull them out into that area and get that small group. There's a bathroom in the middle. There's a bathroom on every learning suite. So those kids who like to walk down the hallway to waste time because they want to go to the bathroom, that's not going to really happen anymore because they're right there in your learning suite. So then you can see where the teacher collaboration area, that's where all the teachers' desks will be. And they have their bathroom in there too. So it's a great thing for teachers who have bladders of steel, but it's not always probably the healthiest thing to hold it all day. They have a big storage area in there. And then you can see the outdoor area, which has a covered ceiling on the outdoor area. Light can go through, but rain will not. So even if it's a light rain, you can still be outside and running out there. There's an outdoor leak in all the outdoor areas. So if you're coming in from outside, you can wash your hands. Or if you're doing an experiment outside, you can still do that as well. So that's what we have for this part. And now Ms. Gauna's going to talk a little bit more about
So we've
function.
talked a lot about what the building looks like. Now we want to talk a little bit about how that we will use the building for our students and how our teachers will be in that building. We'll utilize these spaces to our best advantage. So we are going to be doing a lot of team teaching. You may have heard some things. Preschool and kindergarten rooms are going to be a little bit more traditional, and they will have a teacher and a paraprofessional, and they will have a class of up to 25 kids. So within the learning suite, we can hold up to 100 students, and there are going to be 4 teachers within the suite that are doing some team teaching. So everyone's like, well, why are we moving away from this traditional way of teaching? We're not necessarily moving away. We are just enhancing it, because right now, when we try to do some authentic teaching, when we look at levels and meet them where they are, we try to mix kids and do some things, and we end up really wasting a lot of time moving from space to space. So we're walking down the hall, going to a different class, trying to get what the kids need. Well, now we're going to all be in one space. So if you've ever heard the word differentiate, that's what teachers do when they meet the kids where they are. But it's really hard when you have all these walls and you're having to move around. So now the teachers can differentiate, but within space rather than each teacher differentiating for each child. So we're going to have a teacher who may be able to show their expertise in reading. Maybe that is their area that they love to teach and they're really good at it. They're going to focus in on that. And we might have another teacher math, or they're all going to teach math. We're going to then level the kids based on where they are. So it really lends to more opportunity, less time wasted, and we're just utilizing the space in a different way than we ever have. That's what's setting us aside from the other schools. Other schools do this, but they have that transition time, and it interferes with students learning, and we want to maximize really as much as we can. So with Elwell, I'm going to go ahead and hand out a pamphlet. These haven't quite gone to the presses yet, but this is what sets us aside for everyone. And our branding truly is imagine, explore, and grow. We are going to focus on project-based, real world, hands-on experiences. As when Tucker was talking about the spaces, he mentioned we have another space. That's going to be our project learning room where the kids can go create and explore and do all those things from what they've learned. Now they get to take it and create things that really will mean something to them, and they'll be able to then generalize skills and just maximize that learning. So that is what Elwell is about. We are all about that exploration, project-based learning. We want to be innovative. We're going to use technology. We're going to have state-of-the-art technology findings, things that you can't do when you're in an old building. So we have the opportunity now to do all those things that are related to the computer and tech industry. Gosh, we just have so many opportunities with the space that we're given, empowering our learners. And Elwell was built for community and collaboration. And not only are we able to do that within our walls, we can also then partner with our community. We have a partnership with CRPR. We have a partnership with the YMCA. So we're utilizing something for more than just students during the day as well. So that's kind of just it in a nutshell, but we would love to open it up for questions because we know that you have lots of questions that have to do with either the building itself or how we're going to be using the building. So we would love to entertain some of those at this time.
I'll try to restart it every once. I'll just sometimes even looking at the building, you're like, wait a second, I have a question. That was the first one. Or if I'm droning on, it gives you something to look at.
Are you gonna bus kids?
There will be bus scenes, yes, from most areas. We're not, so the board last year made a decision, so if you're in downtown Farms in that area, and there's by the white area.
Yeah, across around the park, where other housing development is kind of on that corner. That area with John Farms and that, you can come to Elwell, but there won't be transportation.
Okay.
So that was I did a year ago. And then this year, if you're at Lear at Lefford, and that decision
We
was
just don't, we don't have the capacity to service. So if you drive a bus, let us know and we can send you up, or if you stop, we'll send you up for that too.
But definitely a bus.
So I'm in the Roxbury. And even though it's kind of closed.
So we don't want students crossing Highway 60.
Right.
That is our biggest fear right now, is that
Yeah.
we are going to have students trying to cross 60. And so they absolutely are best. And as parents, we plead that you do not let them walk from Roxbury Ridge and Carlson Farms.
So who has been designated to go to the school? I mean, are all those that currently are in Lefford? Do they?
Yes.
Okay.
So the students who are currently at Lefford, the board made that decision. It's hard to know. Last year it was said that if you were first through, well, really first through third, because our fourth grade now fifth graders that are going to sixth. But just give us a call if you have any questions about whether or not you're able to attend Elwell.
Any other questions, sir?
Yeah, that, what's your tornado area, since it's all glass?
Right, great question. That's the gym. So the gym has been rated to bring those state the entire gym. So that was one of my first questions.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second, where am I gonna put this? So I always look like those kind of logistics on my brain goes all the time.
And how about, safety wise, all the doors locked from the inside?
All the doors locked, so if you look on the map, we can close down. There's three checks to get in the front doors. And then if you heaven forbid somebody in that front area, the doors lock learning areas, and all the doors in the learning areas locked as well. So those are, and there's a button in the front where you push no lockdown. And there's a lot of questions with, there's a lot of, is that safe? And the studies are showing now that with windows it's actually safe because you can see, heaven forbid there be a intruder come to the school, but if you could see that and they feel like could see them, it actually deters a lot more than it would if we had all brick walls and everything. Even our gym area, we put an office for, it'll be Mr. Howell over there. So after school activities can come in that, but also no one knows when he's there and when he's not. That's just another, security of knowing that someone could be watching me. I know it's at school.
Also like fire safety or support that are on the call.
There, yeah, so on all the outdoor learning areas, there are sit down to go to evacuate. Also, there's an elevator. And anytime you have which is when you wouldn't use in a fire, but there's a different kind of thing where you need to get up and down. Or if you have a student in a wheelchair, there's always practices in place with the
Why are they rid of the slide?
There's actually a lot of liabilities, like some kids have pacemakers. And I didn't know how to clean it. I could wrap sponges around legs, throw it down the slide, or maybe Sarah throw you down. But they just have that probably the same this thing. We will have slide playgrounds. There will be slide
Question in the back?
You kind of wonder like how they would be for like the first or second grade, like 4 teachers in one classroom, they in there, all 4 minutes at a time, they turn, is it going to different tables, just explain that?
Well,
Sure, let's repeat the question was whether or not, or how a typical day in first or second grade would look like.
there's 4 learning areas. So the one big area, the other 2 can close. So that could look fairly traditional. You might do like if you math all at the same time, so you can level. You might have kids that are struggling a little bit with the concept in one area. They can kind of get it and know what they're doing. Like they're pretty on it, but need little instruction. Could be in the big area. And either one teacher could with that, or you have one working with it and helping out, saying, hey, like I see Tucker, it's not what he's supposed to do. Why don't you get on task here? He knows how to do it, but he's just not paying attention. My teachers never said that when I was a kid. And then there's another room that's another area. So you could even have the kids that are advanced. They could maybe be in there and get some direction of, you've got the general concept. Now why don't you come in here and we'll push you further. So there's times where there's 4 different sets of instruction on, or the same instruction going on in all 4 areas.
And then we'll also have, each student will be assigned to a teacher, because when we get in the morning, we'll have time check-in, attendance, some of those things. And then also we'll have classes that go to specials. So we'll still have PE, music, art, STEM, library, all of those that students will go with the kids. So, yeah.
And there's times, I don't know if you've ever had her, you just get connection with a different teacher when something you just didn't have it in that teacher's class. The opportunities now to go, oh, I really get along there, so I might teach her all the time. Sure. Paid might get frustrated with me, so she wouldn't have to work all the time. So instead of having her come to me all day and have that be a long day for you out, we have that flexibility too. No, we will you can kind of get a feel for that working with them. Yeah.
Can we rent like scooters
To school? You can to school, but not on school grounds.
I thought you meant that actually look like the school.
We will have a bike rack area. And if we don't right away, we'll make sure we get one.
So how do the kids transition when it's time for middle school? Are they pretty, is it just a pretty smooth transition? Okay.
Yeah, it'd be typical to any other elementary school. Our kids might actually be more prepared to go to middle school because they are kind of moving in among themselves, and we don't really have things. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see that, So I don't see that there wouldn't be any more prepared or less prepared.
The middle school now is on a block schedule. So you're in one group for 9 minutes and then you get to switch to the other, which will be a similar thing here if you're in reading for about 90 minutes and then switch to math it'll be a similar, not exact, similar concept. And I think we've been doing training with our staff to make sure they're ready for this. Actually, that's what we're doing tomorrow as well. But I think the more success we have, then when they read in the new middle school, they're going to think, like, oh, this is working really well. Let's go to middle school. Yes.
So this will start in time to the after this year.
The question was start and time school, start and end time for school.
Yeah, it'll be 8:30 to 3:30.
And so they'll have after school and before program as
Yes,
well, okay.
we'll still have the YMCA.
If you notice the size of this gym, the gym in the new school is about twice as big. And that's because TR worked with us. So there'll be some after school activities with TRP. And I'm assuming they'll probably use it for some weekends. And then if you, it's not on these, but our field, there'll be it'll look like a baseball diamond, but it'll have a football that's the size of a flag football field. That's all turf. So, which will be really good. I'm sure we might get some complaints that our grass is really green throughout the summer, but it's because it's artificial turf, it won't be real grass. So we won't be using any water on that. And I think that'll be utilized a lot as well. Yes, sorry.
You can't really see that on here, but we have a really large circle parking lot that's in front of the school.
So right here, there's this parent parking lot. And there's 2 lanes that'll go for drop off. On this side, over here is where the bus drop off will be, so, and staff parking lot. So the buses will come through and the kids will get off right where the sidewalk is for the bus and they'll come through. All the other kids will come this sidewalk and they'll come in the main entrance.
And kind of typical how we do it now is can be outside in the morning. The boys go play and we'll line them all up and do it. And then after all, we have envisioned that we put kind of some signs around if you're a letter now, where first grade's over here, second grade, and we can kind of surround so parents are familiar with where to go. But we'll get all of those features together and sent out prior to school.
We're setting a meeting with the city to see what I'm allowed to do. I asked if I blockade road. I want the cars closest to the curb so kids aren't across the street when other people are driving. So we're going to try to get the flow of traffic to that way. So, and then there's also, we'll get to you, but there's also parking over here for 50 spots for the early learning center. So if you're to drop off your kid preschool, you can park there, walk them in, and you're not blocking the circle, right? But if you opt this one, you know that it's blocked and backed out. And it's tiny. It was built with a thought of all the additions of school, and it was built before as many people drive. So it's a lot different, a lot smaller. Sorry, there's a question.
Oh, you had mentioned the city and blocking off, but do you know if they're gonna add what's the speed bumps and crosswalks and?
We'll have a meeting.
We have a meeting. I'm going to ask. I would really like, even if it's one of the buttons you push or the blinking light on ski. We're going to encourage people not to have their kids walk across 6 feet, but if there's a case where it did happen, I want them to be safe because that's. And there, we're going to ask what we.
Yep, we're gonna see what all we have. We do imagine that our crossing guard capacity will increase. We're gonna try to get a few more crossing guards out there. We do just ask for a little bit of grace as we work out all the kinks because we know things happen. We don't know until what we don't know. So until we get there, but we are trying to do as much as we can and plan ahead.
So I'm sorry.
I was gonna say on point with the crossing guard, I was just wondering what the crossing guard is gonna be, because person who's kind of like on the side of the school, not in the front end, because normally, we have front end.
Yep.
We will probably not have them clear down, but so like here, like there's Clearview, I don't know if it's called Clearview Park, but that park is way down there. That's quite a ways away from school, really, if you're walking. And once, but we'll try to kind of streets that come in the corners that are up closer to the school, so we can kind of cross down and sure There won't be a lot on the north side of the building probably because there's no windows on that side.
So you'll have how many?
We really don't know yet. We're hoping that when we get it all completed and we go out there, we'll be like, okay, here, here.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
but like up there the other day, you can walk by the, you can walk inside all the way up and but then there's a couple that come in. Right, every time I go there, meeting every Tuesday, I have around, okay, where would there be a dangerous area? So that's like, that's what I asked earlier, just that's how I support those. Getting hit by cars, if I prevent all that stuff, it's like that's our number one job, to keep your kids safe. And then we need to teach them a thing or two.
So I heard that there would be a traffic light installed, but
I
have you
don't
heard
know.
anything
No.
about that?
Where?
That's 60.
That would be amazing, but we haven't.
My understanding is that it may be delayed, not necessarily be before school starts, but because of rock season, CDOT has finally determined that they need.
We hope so. It's not very much needed. So. We haven't heard.
Yeah, I mean.
Right.
Well, it's sometimes to increase like on and things like that, it takes on tragic wreck. So I'm hoping it does that point. So I want to make sure we're, yeah, your business make a difference. So please voice concerns more than just to us, but it's got to be to our the town and to the work on things like that.
Who did we talk to first?
Let me find out. Because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. You have to.
So, we contact that CDOT is ultimately. I mean, I'm sure, you know, because you can have a meeting with the town, but I'm sure you can get more direct, but I don't contact it, like, there, you can, on each website, you can get contact them, and I have already had them look as well. Like, put it out, or anything.
Well, we'll start with town and maybe it's down from there. We'll see where we get.
Did you say why you will be running?
Yep.
Out of the school?
Yeah, they helped us a little bit of stuff of what they need for storage and where they can keep it. There's, I can show you, sorry, I just remembered now, but there's a after hours kitchen. So like for YMCA or TRPR, so they cooking in that area, they're not in the school's kitchen. That's always can be contention. And right by there as well is a mother's room. So if we have any moms that are coming nursing, they can use that room as well as if we have any teachers that are nursing and stuff. So we have some privacy and things like that people. Yeah. Not until probably after it's open for a while, but yes, after it's been over a while. I mean, I'd love to take everybody there now, but that would delay our construction. We're not going to get occupancy for the 22nd. School starts on the 30th of August. So during the time, I know people are in the community are going to love to see it, would love to, but at that point, we're just going to try to get things set with people. We're going to do the masons are going to put a stone in, like a mason stone, cornerstone. And at that time, we're hoping to kind of have a celebration and hopefully get some tours. And at that, we can start doing tours. And that might not be, honestly, my hope is to do it in October. And the reason for that is I'd love for our choir there to sing something and have like just a presentation. We can hopefully do it up, do it right. Yeah.
We are truly being that by ear because we really want to make sure that our teachers feel confident, safe, that all the things are set up and our students are getting what they
So
need.
back to school night might be the same word, so it's
Right.
after.
The district is still doing this though, right? And many of the teachers were present.
Yes.
Yeah.
So make sure.
Last year, I don't know if you went, it was called Unite to Ignite last year. So they were doing something similar, and that's where you know, we had a table there that you can come and ask questions. And we'll have all these maps and probably present some of this stuff tonight, just for other people who have questions. Yes.
You said school starts on August 30th?
That is first through fifth, and then PK start 2 days later on September 1st.
So how will we know if we're on the contact list or not?
If you register your child, then you would be on a contact.
So if he's coming from Pioneer Ridge over here, I still need to register him.
At Elwell.
Yeah.
So each year we ask that you re-enroll your students just to make sure that all the contact information is correct. So you need to get on either parent portal if you're a current student, or if you're a new student, we have a new student link on our website that you sign up. And the 22-23 school year enrollment is now open. And so you'll see that Elwell is a choice now, and Ferd is not on. So if you are registering and you see Letford, you're still in the 21-2 school year.
If you're out of district, that means you're not currently in Johnstown attending Lefford, or you're not in any of the areas that are going to be going. We have a enrollment application form. That school, you know, if you're coming from Loveland and coming over here to school, we might ask you to register at Pioneer Ridge or Milliken if we don't have the capacity. So we'd like to house as many people as we can, if there's that possibility. We need to be stewards of the people that are in our boundaries that have been promised to come to Elwell first. So if you're outside those areas, we may ask you to either register at your home district or to move to one of those areas. So it's not that we don't want you or we don't love the kids, but there's always so much space, and I don't want to shoehorn them in.
What concerns do you personally have come to a new building and deviating from, you know, traditional way of learning, and what as parents do to prepare children to come into this, you know, situation? I love the whole setup thus far. I just like to hear from your guys' perspective and what we can do to.
So there's a group of parents that have already started a Facebook page. It's called the Moms of Elwell, and they accept dad, accept themselves because it'd be a pseudo you're a dad. But they're just organizing play dates and stuff just to get kids to meet each other. So that I would suggest checking that out. It's not a dual scored website or anything, but our Facebook page. But you can check it out. Just see that chance to get to know kids. Like that's going to be the new thing, is we're going to be bringing together that don't know each other. So we need to make sure that culture. I think Mrs. Gowna and I do well, and our teachers are caring and love. Your kids go to school here. For you to ask them what their parents are there.
People also, you guys see like a lot of chaos. I mean, this is like a lot of movement. I don't know, like, how you guys feel on it. I guess I'm gonna feel for what do you see your roadblocks?
I think more so the teachers are more excited to do this because opportunities at this lens, because it is flexible. Right now, we have tried to do some leveling among, and it's just really hard. It's a lot harder. And so imagine having your teammate right in the same room as you, and you're getting to, yeah. So I think there's a little bit of anxious, but it's not excited anxious, and we just want there and get in. And we know that it's a learning curve. We know that we're going to have to make adjustments along the way, but for the most part, we also feel that we're prepared. Done a lot of professional development this year. We practiced. We actually opened up our library, took some walls and opened them up, and we got some flex seating, and we practiced with a couple of grade levels in there just to kind of see what the structure in place we need, and kind of get that feel for when you have more than 25 kids. And it was a good experience. Now imagine being a space that lends to that, and so the teachers are excited to do that.
Honestly, I'm not rushing kids at all. Kids, we'll have to teach them.
I'm being like,
Well, I don't. There'll be a little bit that they're gonna follow the rules. We're gonna have to teach them everything, because there'll be some flexible thing, like you see some of these things like, oh, that's the kind of tree that I'm not used to sitting in. So we're gonna teach them how to use that. And there might be times where, oh, we need to take some of those out until we learn how to use them the right way, and then we'll put it back in. But we'll get there, and they'll use it And the kids will adapt to the space very quickly.
Right.
It's gonna make sure we're comfortable as adults, because you're pretty vulnerable. If you have 4 people in the same area and they can see everything you're doing. But think how much accountable you are and how much better you can be. So once I tell teachers that, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
and if I see you two, you're doing a great job, I'm gonna come talk to you later. What are you doing? You're just gonna write so good. I want to make sure I'm doing that as well.
And I think for the most part, we need, the teachers don't have the expectations. They're gonna hear that, teach that. Routine is huge for our kids, structure is huge for our kids. So I think for the most part, we have all that in place.
What makes me a little nervous, I think this is gonna catch on and people are gonna hear how good this is. So then we're gonna have to do a lot of people coming in to visit our school because they're gonna wanna see what are we doing in Johnstown that's working so well.
Right.
And having those outdoor spaces, having bathrooms right there. I don't know, I have one man I know, and he sees me all the time in the hallway, all the way down to the 5th grade hall, he's down around the corner, almost every time I'm in the hallway. I'm in the hallway a lot, traveling places. I'm like, really again? What are you doing out here? But he likes to take that time. But when the bathrooms are right there in his suite, I bet bladder control is pretty exponential. So you can just go. And it takes time, and that's how we have to do it here. Line all the kids up, take them all into the bathroom, go to lunch. You have that right there. We don't have that line that takes, even if it's fast and it takes 3 minutes, 3 minutes a day times like 3 times a day, so that's 9 minutes a day. And, add it up, that's days of instruction throughout the year. And just a lot waiting for the bathroom.
97 contact days, so like that.
Yeah.
So, okay, from what I'm getting, it's like the like all red and all red, right? So what is capacity? What are capacity?
It's about,
Teacher
teacher to kid ratio, that's in our master agreement. So if that to be over for K3 is that if it gets 27, then we'll look at getting another teacher. And it gets that high on 4th and 5th, look at getting para in there. So there'd be more stuff that way. We keep our student 50 numbers down. The seats are designed for like 100 is designed for. Higher capacity is higher than that, so we could go over that. But that's that optimal number. And then we could do a few more, a few less. We plan for that.
This is probably a question to end, but do you have projected your experience coming year for students of us?
We're gonna be able this first year. Like we'll be
Talking about 100 for
yeah.
graders.
And there's so K5, that's 6, so that's 600. And preschool is 9, so 692 kids in the entire building. So close to 700. And the learnings are designed to have a few more than that, but optimal, just if you could teacher, if it could be on that, 24 would be amazing your teacher. 24 is what I always want, you can divide it so many different ways. That's my math, whatever.
What is the typical day for like the third graders who like show up at 8 a.m.?
8 p.m.
Is it like a first period experience?
Our elementary, we don't really have read that way. They would have an hour where they have specials. So our library, STEM, they have lunch, the lunchtime. That's going to be 25 minutes eating lunch, 2 minutes of recess. So take that out, and then the other time you'll block for about an hour and a half for reading. You have a block for math. It's about an hour and a half. We have some close in most time. We have some times off, close to 45 minutes to an hour for social science. And that's kind of how the day goes. The nice thing about this, if you're running over, if you're like, we have this really good reading lesson we're going to do. The kids are super engaged. let's go on for another, kind of get everybody on the same page. So you're still kind of staying that same page, all the classrooms, and you can kind of see, or if I look up like, oh, Miss Gowan is teaching already, I need to go to the pace, I am halfway through my lesson. So you can do the.
So you mentioned how the teachers in the room, are they gonna, I'm envisioning big space and one teacher is teaching this, another teacher is teaching this. We will hear back and forth. Is that- how does
There's,
that work?
you might hear some, like, there's that possibility. We've worked with the acoustics, so it'll be like it is in this gym, but it will be about the size of this gym. So that one area is about this size. And if you have Patrick House over here and Patrick's over here,
And then we have directional microphones also.
so, I mean, we have probably a little bit over 50 people here. This is about what it's like, and you're a lot bigger than that.
But math is all happening at the same time. Or
Yes.
will be math over here?
No, we plan on doing the subjects at the same time.
But doing subjects at the same
Doing
time.
subjects.
There might be times where you need to pull out into, like, there is a room that's gonna be more quiet. There's a room that has the doors that are closed, so if you want all three to do the same thing together and you could rotate, you need to do that. And you can pull that other group and be like, hey, we're behind in math, get caught up.
And teachers do that now. I don't know if parents really realize that we do tend to pull in groups together, but the space is not conducive to that. So
But I mean, ideally, this is to kind of understand, it's like the real top of the grade population, the grade level comes together and we can co-teaching that stuff. But then the others are teachers are like, if they are struggling and we just create that space and make it
yeah, or at the same time, one's getting universal instruction, they're all getting grade level instruction, and then we break out for some of those more intensive small groups to hit those skill-based learning that maybe some of us just haven't prepared yet.
So it won't be the traditional classroom experience where you would hear the others teaching, because they would, like, ideally be working together with all of that. Okay.
So if you have all in the same area, I think you could be start to teach on either side. And then just in open. You can look at this box and see what's previous.
Actually, every space has a T-wall.
And it's see more clear than this, it's like a TV, it's a CM screen, touch screen. So kind of like if you watch the sports shows, we're like, oh, here's, move this arrow here.
There are whiteboards, there's smart board, there, yeah, so every.
There's five smart boards in every learning suite. And one's on a cart around. And then there's, I mean, we have the one-to-one iPad. 4 are on walls. If you want to, I can show you afterwards where they're at. Question?
You said that there were like 18 learning spaces for education. Are there park spaces for school we want to park all their kids in and not just go for the one?
There's like 90 spots.
There's a huge parking lot, and then around is the.
So like this parking lot, it's more like the size of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how there are
It's
no
actually designed
parking
for-
spaces right here. There are actually.
And the other question I have is, where is the ground for the bigger kids?
There's blue and purple on there.
Oh,
South,
We don't have a playground picture. So we get that, one, we'll try to get that put on social media. So people can see
is that one then also?
Yes. Well, it's kind of like our playground where there's a fence, but there's openings in it.
Okay.
the early learning center playground is.
And it has a little track. Kids can do the track races. or whatever.
And kinder is the early learning.
No, kinder early.
It's gonna be on the link.
When you walk into preschool, we'll have our early childhood secretary, she'll be there. And they'll have all their cubbies coming in. So they can come in and put their cubbies in, and then the kids will be there to take the kids back into the room. And all the rooms have like a Jack and Jill bathroom. There's 3 classrooms, and there's a Jack and Jill bathroom between them. So those, if you're in that middle room and your kid needs restroom, they can just go either way. They have a bathroom. So it's a really kind of cool setup on what fun. And then kindergarten has the middle area that can be used for that 3 of the classrooms can open up. One doesn't, just because it's kind of in a current. But it has an out patio on that one. And so one room has an outdoor patio and open to the one just has a patio. So they all have something special feature. And then if you walk through that hallway, it opens up into learning commons for the library.
So we did have our meeting a few weeks ago, a week ago.
Yeah.
A year ago, no. We kind of keep track of the questions that parents ask. But we will put your questions as well as these on a site so you can kind of go back, see what the other parents ask you. Because I know that things come up and you think of things as you walk out the door. Also know that we are available at any time to answer questions. Just give us a call. And you can just dial the main number at Lester.
Our point was we were starting to hear rumors like, it's an open school, no walls. Well, you can see there are walls, and from this concept to what we have there, there's more walls on here. So there are walls of things. Your kid will not be off. Your third won't end up in the 5th grade accidentally wandering and it's all open.
You do hear someone say it's open concept and just say, no, it's flexible. Because it really is flexible. We can do more.
I feel like now we've empowered you to give facts of what you heard. And if there's thing an answer, direct them back to us. I like the more people that have knowledge, better we can give them.
We're working on the Elwell website, so hoping to get it up and running, so they can get on there and see some of the things. Like I said, we'll be in the summer to get all the features in place so we can get those out to parents in a timely manner. So you do know what to expect for stay.
If there's procedures, I just don't know how this is, and I haven't heard something, reach out to us, and it may have been missed, but I think a lot of the ideas I've heard so far are things that we've had conversations about. But we want you to stay for your kids at school, and your kids to feel safe at school. That's number one. And like I said, after they have that, then we can start teaching.
One more question, maybe I have really, but as far as drop off, I know you said there'll be a certain spot, but you're gonna allow parents to get out with the kids, walk them up to the playground area, is that correct?
Yeah, they would have to come to the and park in the parking lot. So they're not holding up the drop
Yeah,
off.
you can't.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like a 9-spot parking lot where you can park in, and they would walk up.
Otherwise, it'll just be a drive.
Yep.
Eventually, we expect, the first couple of weeks, kids will do that. Eventually, it happened here. We kind of pull up, drop the kids run on the playground, and we're out there, 15 every day, 20.
What's the resources that are for special education or like sensory?
Yeah, there is a sensory room, and it has a swing in it, or at least hardware swing. I don't know if I have a swing right away, but it has adjust lights that you can turn to colors, like light, cool light. Has a sort of wall that we're using from the materials that were on site. So we have some cool texture tiles. So it has some rows. So it's like an 8x4 wall of texture. And within that special education area, there's their own bathroom that they can use. There's a room that has a smart board in it. Also has a wall that can close. If I wanted to work with just like kids in there, I can close it. It's one of the nano walls there that you can see through. You can also have an open area, and then there's a room that you can be used like OT, PT, and all those different things.
And then we are anticipate our special education teacher will also teach, so that we have all these spaces. We have that collab room so that our kids maybe aren't being pulled out as much. If they need to, we can do those. Maybe we need a little bit more tier 3 support and that intensive prevention. We can pull them, but those that are doing well and can stay in class, that's our ultimate goal, is to service them within. We're going to be doing a lot of push in.
There's a flex room on each floor. It's right at the end of the library there, you can see it's like this little spot right here. And that's to be used by anybody that if we just need to work with a small group, we can do that. So we're just calling it a group. And you can probably work with up to like kids in there. Or I don't know if you've ever been to any of the schools during like doubles testing time. And you see teachers that are sometimes testing in the hallway. And we're gonna try not to have that happen. That's why we have these little rooms. So, and like, if we're doing doubles testing, like working on with my group of kids, 20 kids that I'm testing, 25, the other kids can still be learning, testing one-on-one, but they could be with the other 3 teachers and they could cover all the rest of it. So there's none of that, like, once in a while, I don't see it here, but I have seen it in other places I've been. I'll put on a movie and then they'll pull kids out where they're like, we don't have to, because they can still be getting education benefit while being tested, and it's just a test and get them back in. So, a lot of good questions. Good question, Lex.
Yes. I mentioned about like the practice meetings and stuff. Are there gonna be like there's that big like hammers that you can like read in?
There won't be hammocks, that's a great idea. We won't have those. There'll be sit-ups that are like cushions that you put on. There'll be different padded seats. There's different options that you can on. There are wobble chairs. So more than we now, where you just kind of have a chair. Yep. We try to get a variety, and with these, kids will have like tools, like what that they're sitting at. Won't have the traditional desk that has all like in it. So their hovey system, we have a basket that the supplies in. And I'm anticipating we're going to have some shared supplies, and that'll come more and more where maybe you have a classroom set of scissors and that's what you use. So my hope is that we quit asking for scissors and supply lists, because then you'll have that taken care of. So not this first year, but that's what I will get to.
Do you know what the timeline for others should be? Oh, okay, well, the year after Elwell. But what about middle school? When does the middle move to the Roosevelt? Do you know?
It's the 2-year, right? So.
I think it's 2 years,
2
years.
but they have to make sure everything's on track at the high school and move people out before they can even start.
Start.
It's gonna remodel with
They
a
won't
bunch of high
have
school
kids
kids.
in there until it's finished.
Right.
Okay.
The good thing is school at Milliken where we can.
Right.
So,
Right.
They're also starting to develop militant
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot of work being done. All the schools, even at Pioneer Ridge, we're doing some stuff too, just to.
Everyone's getting a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Did you spell your name?
My name, sure. So yeah, it's Gaona. I tell everyone to think of a wedding gown and just say, Gaona.
And you're.
Willard, Willard.
Well, we thank you so much for tonight. Like I said, we're only gonna have 2 parent nights, but we're gonna start getting stuff posted, and hopefully we can, as questions even come into us, we'll keep putting those questions so we can have kind of that Q&A on that.
I'll be here for a little bit afterwards here, so if you feel free to go, if you want to ask us questions, talk to her as a group, feel free to come ask us questions.
Where did you start posting those questions?
We're gonna demand the different social media sites, so we'll probably need to build that for PTO and then mom,
Probably the
Isabella,
district site.
and then as soon as the site is up, we'll get that. Yeah, we'll try to start getting them out. Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Nothing, you're happy. That's the
Oh, wow.